it's great. 2 years in a row. It's always great to win a trophy in front of your fans, and to do it against such a good team and a good program, and it's awesome. I'm happy for our players. They're doing a great job. They're playing selflessly. They're playing for each other, and that's why we're playing really well right now.
Gibson Homer's first start in a while. What made you confident that he was ready to play tonight? What did you see from him?
Just the way he reset at break, and the way he looked against the program, the way he's been practicing. He caught fire at this time last year. We put him in against Cornell. He matched up really well with how they play. It was just a hunch, and sometimes they make me look smart. It's few and far between, but tonight Gibby did.
What kind of, I don't want to say went wrong, but what kind of lull was he in that let Pav?
I don't know if it was too much of a lull. His numbers were good, but what I didn't like was some of the situational stuff that was happening, because I just think so highly of him, and I know what he's capable of, and that's obviously a perfect game by him, 2 in a row. But that's how good he can be. He just has to stay big and aggressive and hungry, and I think he will.
Are there any specific situational things you're referring to that had to go about fixing that?
Well, I just think locking down like late against CC, or maybe a really poor start against Providence to put us behind against a team you can't get behind from, stuff like that, right? Where you need your goalie on the road to do certain things for you to get wins, and they're a great tandem. They support each other incredibly well, and nobody's more happy for Gibby than Pav right now. And like I just said in the radio, Gibby's as happy for Pav as anybody in the building when he plays well. So that's all part of it. They support each other incredibly well. They're a great duo. We're very lucky to have both.
You talked at the beginning of the season when your record maybe wasn't reflecting how you guys were playing, that you were still playing really good hockey. Has anything changed to allow you guys to have so much success as of late?
The biggest thing is health, right? We got some guys back and had that consistently. Getting a guy like Schlaner back just as a driver in every way is huge. We've missed Dylan Jackson here and there. We missed Silly for a weekend. We still haven't had Cruz, and that's coming real quick around the corner, and we're excited about that. So just health, but I think that we stayed process focused. You hear people talk about focus on process, not results, and we did that, and we certainly are now getting really good results.
How big of an impact is
I think he is, probably, obviously we have some great players that have played here, but he has a chance to be one of the best, if not the best, that's ever worn our jersey. That's how highly I think of him, and I'm excited for our fans to be able to watch him play.
Are you able to provide any update on his timeline?
Yeah, we're hopeful that he'll be again in next weekend. I would say there's a really good chance against North Dakota that he'll play, and if not, then we're very confident that it'll be at the very worst at St. Cloud.
This lineup, one that some of the lines haven't been put together before, worked really well for you guys. What do you like from this lineup as a whole? And how
Yeah, we made some changes, obviously, with Chucky back in the lineup, and just I wanted to get Kerwin a little bit more involved, and I thought that if I could put him with two kind of bigger workhorses like Schlaner and Smoley, it would clear some space, and it worked. He had a great weekend, and tonight I thought that Jackson's and Silly were our best line. I thought they were unbelievable. They're big game players. They seem to always show up for us in big games, and tonight they did in a big way.
Speaking of that third line, you kind of talked previously about veteran players making mistakes, and that was contributing to less success earlier in the season. What changed with that third line from last night to tonight, and just the veteran group as a whole?
Yeah, and just I guess for clarification, the way that lines read on a line chart for media and fans, I know it's easy to go 1, 2, 3, but that's not our third line. The Jacksons and Sillinger are our third line. They had more ice than anybody last night. I think that they probably would have tonight if Dylan didn't get banged up a little bit. But I think the biggest thing with those three, is they're big game players. They thrive in big moments when they know we need them to get a big win. They seem to always find a way to pull through. Last night we got out to a big lead, and I think they just probably kind of got bored. That's the honest to God truth. That's just kind of how those three roll. You got to always entertain them.
With the success you've had recently, a big series coming up next weekend, what are some things some areas you still want to improve on?
Managing pucks. I think we managed it pretty well, about 85% of the game tonight. But in situations where you have to get pucks all the way in, where we didn't maybe in the third period. Cleaner touches, going back for pucks and just advancing zones. Just, simple winning hockey when you have a lead. And tonight we closed it out. Gibby was really good. I think they probably put up, 10 of their shots in the last 6 minutes with their goalies pulled, right? And Gibby was really good. I think we kept them to the outside a lot tonight, right? They had some shots, but not a lot of, odd mans and not a lot of, backdoor type stuff. I thought we defended really well tonight.
The depth has been very evident with this roster since before the season even started. How has that depth performed? Is there anything that's surprised you about this team that you've learned about this team that you didn't think would be at the beginning of the season?
No, we knew it was the deepest roster we've ever had, and I think that, I thought that this is our deepest D-core that we've ever had, and I'm right. They are. The three freshmen are really coming along. Murch is starting to really be a horse for us, like he always is, and Becker's been tremendous. Tucker's been great. It's a really deep D-core. Obviously, two good goalies, and now we have, really 5 lines that can play.
That D-core's pretty young. How have you felt about just how the freshmen played?
Well, they're getting great reps and good experience and great development in big situations, and it's only going to pay off as we move forward.
I figured if there's ever time to do it, it's when we're up by 4 goals. I think I learned my lesson, though. Probably not happening again anytime soon. So.
You guys beat the number 16 team in the country in pretty dominant fashion. Just overall thoughts from the game, what led to success?
I thought we stuck to our game plan good. We stayed on top of them. We got in heavy on the forecheck, and we kept the puck out of our net. Thanks to this guy Weir.
Yeah, we did everything that we needed to do to, play a strong defensive game, including, my game. So, yeah, it's hard to win when we're that hard on it defensively.
What was that game plan you guys had going in that you executed well?
We stayed above them. We hunted on the forecheck. We really kind of led them into a lot of rims, and scored more goals than them.
Now that you're about halfway through the season, you've gotten a chance to kind of play with the newer guys and the younger guys. How do you think you've kind of come together as a team? Or just gelled as a whole?
Yeah, we've meshed really well. Obviously, I think the freshmen and transfers have done an unbelievable job, integrating themselves to, our culture and what we have going on here. So it's been pretty easy when those guys, integrate themselves by themselves.
Yeah, at the start it takes a little bit of time, but just with time comes chemistry. And a lot of the guys we brought in they're not strangers to college hockey, and the guys who we did bring in are very, very good players and going to be good players in college hockey. So that makes a big difference, and hopefully we can keep this thing going.
The team kind of at the beginning of the season, your record wasn't really reflecting how you were playing out there. What's changed to kind of allow you to have success, if anything?
I don't know if anything crazy has changed. We've been, playing hard, playing the same way we've been playing all year long. It's just, I think it's just sometimes you don't get the results you want, and that was kind of the story of our season early on. And now just things are meshing and seamless way.
What was the message to kind of get you guys out of that rut when things weren't going your way?
Just hold yourself accountable and hold each other accountable. I think when we do that, when you start to get the positive bounces and you start to get rewarded.
Was there anything specific you guys were holding each other accountable for that you were struggling with?
Everything. Just you gotta motivate a guy when he needs support, and pick him up when he's down, and that's what a team does.
You guys have a big one next week, North Dakota. How can you kind of use your success as momentum going into that? And I don't know if you've watched the film on it or anything or seen much from them. What do you need to do to kind of shut them down?
Yeah, I think we've obviously been on a good run now, and I don't think there needs to be anything with them that will change that. Just we got to play our game, and we know when we play our game, we're really hard to beat. So just stick to our game plan.
Lukas, obviously getting your first goal tonight,
Felt really good, really, really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one.